Welcome to another episode of Cover Lovers, where we get to talk about this week's incentives as well as store exclusives. And first and foremost, I want to give a happy birthday to Mr. Big Rob himself, aka West Coast Big Rob.
You ready, guys?
Happy
You ready?
Birthday, sir.
Happy birthday to you.
Woo!
Birthday. Go ahead. Happy birthday, Big Rob. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, good job.
I'm 21 today. I'm ready for my first shot.
21,000.
Well, 21 plus.
Yep, 21
24.
plus. There we go. Yeah.
Plus 20.
I got the plus in a lot of places. Right here,
Oh.
etc., etc. Go on.
So you and Leslie went on a little adventure, right, this weekend?
Yeah, we're foodies. We like my beautiful body tells that we like food. So, yeah, we're eating all over the place. You can check it out on my stories and stuff, or my reels. They're on there. So, yeah, it was fun. It was great. I had a great weekend. It was a blast. Lots of food, lots of friends, lots of alcohol. More, not a lot, but more for me nowadays, a lot. But yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I hope that you had a great time and that, all your nerdy wishes came true for your birthday.
No, there's one of them right here.
Oh, can we see it?
It's too fucking heavy and big.
The Castle Grayskull?
No, this guy right here. All right, I'll give it a shot. This might be a little toy box preview.
Oh, so is it Faker?
It's Anti-Eternia Battle Cat
Oh,
with Anti-Eternia He-Man mounted. It's about, 25 pounds, 30 pounds.
dang.
That's cool, though.
There you go.
That is
Nice.
awesome.
But people would hate to have it because it's too heavy.
Yes.
I'm hearing you.
Oh yeah. It is
Although to
heavy.
ship it,
Well,
don't ever sell it. I hope you really want it, because
no,
It's
it's
not
not.
that much.
That's
shipping would
staying with
cost
me.
more than it costs.
Yep.
Yeah, staying with me for a very long time.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. What about you, Mike? How was your weekend?
Kind of non-eventful this week. I didn't really do a whole lot. I did get myself a nice record grail.
Oh, yeah, what you get?
Danzig, the first one, original
Oh.
U.S. press,
Wow.
Oh,
which I had never actually seen a nice copy of for sale. I'd seen copies of it, but it's always thrashed.
What was that, like 80? 81?
88.
88? Oh, so I thought they were a lot earlier.
88. Well, he's in the Misfits long before.
Oh,
that.
that's what I'm thinking of, the Misfits. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but his first solo record's 88.
88, okay.
It's I don't know if it's I mean, I guess it's rare. I've only ever seen a couple of other copies, but it's really expensive, in good shape. So
Yeah, in good shape, probably rare.
I got a good deal on it, and it's pretty close to near mint.
oh,
That's cool.
that's awesome.
Pretty happy about that.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's
Well,
jump
well,
into there. Yep.
That's it.
Okay. All right, let's jump in.
How
give
was
it-
your weekend, Alonzo?
Yeah,
What is it?
seriously, you always skip yourself like you're not really here. Come on.
I know.
I'm here, but I'm also need to get the show to move along, so that way we don't.
What the hell with the show? How's it going?
it's going great. It's going great. Had a great weekend. Made chili beans for the first time. It's something that my parents used to make, my brother and I, and so I made some chili beans. Not exactly the same recipe, but pretty close. The only problem is I think I left the beans in there. I didn't. I should have left them in there a little bit longer. They were still al dente, so you had to really like bite right into it. So I need to get better with that next time.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up the Luka Doncic, man. What's going on?
Oh my God! Yes. I love the trade. I can't believe that we pulled that trade for the Lakers.
A 25-year-old to a 32-year-old. 7-year difference right there.
Yeah, I just hope the things like aren't true about him being out of shape and like doesn't want to get into shape. But I think they've dealt with
Bullshit.
Shaq when Shaq was with the Lakers being
Yeah.
out of shape, or that I think they might be able to work with it. So he's primed.
It's bitter words on the way out. You've always said I get on the way out. So
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, I think we definitely got the better end of the trade with since we trade superstars. I am just trying to figure out like when LeBron's leaving. You know what I mean?
well,
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like there's still a couple of things that the Lakers need to do. They
$50 million on his contract, so he takes up a lot of the budget. So
yeah. But Golden State might still want him. They might ship him out to Cleveland. Who knows?
there's your NBA talk here on Coming.
All right, yeah, Stephen A. Smith Jr. and Stephen A. Smith Sr. over here. It's
Oh my god!
That's a big trade. Kind of
you know what though? I mean, people were complaining last week they were just a bunch of old men bitching
That's
about
right.
that cover. So I guess this is better.
Get off my lawn.
Oh man, it's gonna be a light show, light week.
Trish,
There's too much stuff going on. So
Sorry.
all right, let us go into our sponsors. As always, got to give a shout out to Cover Price. Oh, love that. Make sure to use code word Nirvana14 for 30 days of unlimited cover price for only 99 cents. And then head over to birdcitycomics.com and use TNH10 to save yourself 10% off your entire purchase. And all the way into the chat, we got GT Key. What is going on? Igor, thank you for stopping by. As always, Nerdy Geek, what's up? Still chilling. Look at that. Happy birthday. Oh, even with Igor, happy birthday. Tony, what is going on? Bruce, Jonas, what is going on? And then Trish, hello. And you guys ready?
of course.
Yeah.
All right. Big Rob, since it is your birthday, you get to go first.
What you got?
You get to pick Star Wars Legacy of Vader #1, a 1 in 25 by John Jang, and a 1 in 100 by E.M. Gist. And then also he does have a regular cover as well. So Big Rob, of the two, which one's your choice?
Well, two guys E.M. Gist has been really dedicated to Star Wars covers the last 5 years. So he's done a lot of Star Wars stuff. Also, John Jen has done quite a bit of Star Wars stuff in the last 5 years. For Star Wars in general, this is very much improved art in general. Yes, something's off, and I'm thinking it's the face on Ren.
It is. It's the face of Kylo, definitely.
Yeah. Adam Driver is the Adam Driver with some issues going on there on his face. I'm like, everything else is pretty on point. It's just that face on Driver it's fucked up. It's like it's off quite a bit. So kind of really throws you off just off the bat. The Jang is cool. It's a cool cover. It's I'm not a huge Young Yang fan. Sounds weird when I say it. But it's cool enough. It's better than the Gist, and it's just a cool depiction of Ren with the lightsaber and all the lights and sparkles, and it gives a badassery of what Ren is, right? So if I had to pick one, it's a lot cheaper too. Is the Legacy of Vader #10, the 1 in 25 by John Jang.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. What about you, Mike?
I'm exactly the same. I like the Jang better as well, and it's because of that one hiccup on the Gist. I think that the other thing too is Gist has done a cover like this before without Kylo in the front. That Vader and Vader's Tower thing that exists. I think he might even be reusing art there, or really, really close if he's not.
It's still different, yeah.
It is, but it's so similar that he's clearly just using, I don't know, muscle memory to do it, I guess. So it's not all that original to me. I think the Kylo in the front is flawed in multiple ways. He also looks kind of static, which is strange for Gist, which is not a normal thing. Whereas there's some cool I don't know what the word is really, but there's some cool like fluidity going on with the Kylo cover, the Kylo in mask cover, the Zhang. Sort of like sparks or ash or whatever it is, sort of, or embers sort of flying off to the sides.
Ambers, yeah.
It's really, there's some really cool stuff going on with it. And I like the marriage of Zhang's style, which is that sort of glow style that he does, even when there isn't a glowing item on the cover. But yet now with the lightsaber and having that be the light source, it makes his style make sense, if that makes any sense. So I think it's a nice marriage of style and composition, and it just works. I think it's really, really good. I think it's the Zhang all the way.
I kind of agree with you on that. This reused art, because I feel like the background in the Vader's, it is like old art. That you just kind of like maybe
I have it. It's a set. It was an exclusive set for somebody, and I have the set.
Like it was like just it was in a rush, it was in a pinch. You just kind of added it to the background, give it a background. You know, all he did was really the stairwell and the Adam Driver. Even the beam on the side, I don't think that's original to this art. I don't know. So, I don't know.
Nah, I also agree with you guys with your selection of the Zhang. I like it as well. It does feel like a lot of movement there, and I feel like Kylo just turned on his lightsaber. I feel like I can hear the sizzle. You know the,
Yes.
you know when the crackle.
The crackle, yeah.
I feel like I can feel it or hear it because of the way the lightsaber is moving. It's not perfect. It's kind of just there, and it's fantastic. I do agree with what you've said, Mike, in regards to Kylo looking very static on the gist. I kind of feel that way too. And the same thing that both you and Rob pointed out as well. Kylo's face just looks off, and I think it has to do with his eye, the one that doesn't have the scar. The other one, it just looks off. That eyebrow looks just too high. It doesn't look like he has an eye almost. So it definitely kind of, just it makes it a kind of downer because I feel like it's supposed to be the focus of the cover, and you messed up the face.
One other note: these are pretty available in Midtown. They're not even selling for ratio. They're a little below ratio, so you probably get these even cheaper than Midtown on your local shop.
So it's not the same. It's Star Wars. It's Darth Vader number 22 from I think the second series, and it was a Whatnot set, a Virgin and trade dress set, but it's so similar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why, if anyone has that one, why they would want this one. This is just an inferior version of that one.
What was the issue again? It was like Darth Vader 22?
Yeah, it's part of the Crimson Reign series, like the Crimson Reign tie-in thing.
And it was by Gist?
It's Gist, yeah, and it was a Whatnot set, I think.
All right, let me see. Yeah, it's similar. It's similar.
Oh, I see it. It's combo exclusives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Let me pull that up real fast so that way
people can see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's similar, but it's the same concept. He just reorganized it almost.
Let me just move this over here.
Like he might have some of these elements saved in his hard drive.
He may have just messed around with some of the elements.
Yeah. He used it. Yeah.
I can see that.
And I think the original's better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it 100% is.
There's a menace to it and much better color separation, and it's just a better cover.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next. I like how Christopher Jones said that the trade dress it looks great. I think you're on point. It looks cool.
Oh, yeah, it matches better with the Yang.
It does. It works. That cover works. I like it.
All right. Moving on to the next one, we got Poison Ivy number 30. We got 1 in 25 by Sarah Balsam and a 1 in 50 by Jenny Frizen. And then you can also get the regular copy as well. So, of course, we'll go through the Frizen Homer first. Mike?
Yeah. I like both of these for different reasons. I think so. The Baz Lame, or however you say her name, I've never heard of that artist. Maybe I should know who that is. It's definitely a unique style that I don't know that I've seen on a comic book before. I've seen it on other things. I've seen that style used in other arenas, but not, in illustration, but not so much in comics. So I kind of dig it. It's definitely a different old kind of like an old Vertigo kind of a feeling to it that I really dig. Although the Frisson, I think she finally drew a different face.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And I like it more. And there's some cool stuff on here that I don't know. I'm not sure I can pinpoint it. Yeah, I understand that Frisson stuff looks really, really similar. And for those that don't like her, that's the big gripe, right? That she's really done this a million times. But you know what, though, that we like so much, and it's the reason why they keep doing it. It's the if it ain't broke, don't fix it model. The stuff is still beautiful. I mean, I've said it before. If this were the first time you saw a Jenny Frisson cover, we would all knock each other out to get this book. But because we've seen it 200 times at this point, we're not all that impressed. But it's got great taste. It's sexy, good color. I love her shading style. The face looks beautiful this time. It's nothing particularly special, and you can get it as just obviously a minimal trade dress, which is probably the way I would buy it, because that's what, $6 or whatever those are. So I think I would just barely lean toward the Boz Lame just because it's different and unique and cheaper, and then just buy myself the $5 or $6 trade dress version of the Jenny Frisson. I think I might buy them both. They're cool. They're both intriguing, but I like that the Boz Lame is a unique, different style for once.
Nice. All right. What about you, Big Rob?
I'll start with the Frisson. Yeah, I agree. The face is different, so it makes it cool. I do like this particular green, like kind of this winter mint green in the background. It's kind of cool, olive green color. So it sounds cool, and the red really pops out with all the green around it. It still is pretty standard cover for Jenny Frisson. Not much of a difference. You could probably get different versions of it for cheaper than $5 on some of her covers. So, but it's cool. If you're new to the game, you see this cover, then yeah, you're gonna probably want it. But if you've been doing this for the last 15 years, then you're gonna be like, skip. So for me, it's a skip. But the other one, I'm looking at it at Midtown, and you're able to do a high res blown up image of it. And I'm looking at the detail. It's cool because it reminds me a lot of the concept art for like Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella.
That's it. That's where I've seen this kind of art before. Yeah. Yes, Disney concept art. Well done. Thank God.
So yeah, that's because the line work, the coloring, just the line work and the coloring in particular. That's where it brings me back to the classic Disney era of 1940s, 1950s, particularly Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella. It has that vibe to it, that the design of it, and of course, because it's Poison Ivy, you got to bring a little creepiness to it, because just the way to center her eye between the thorns, which is a kind of evil eye perspective, and that's a cool concept. So the Sarah Baslin is, I think, the superior cover, the more interesting cover. It piques my interest, and it's actually the cheaper book. So the Baslin wins.
All right, I agree with all of you guys. Look at that. The Baslin for me also is the better one. I love the details for it. I like that she's like on top of like heads. Like these are like dead bodies or like heads of like these victims that she poisoned. You see their eyes, their mouth. I mean, that detail, like she's just resting on them. I mean, it's fantastic. I love it. I like the little details on the flowers, how it looks like she's wearing a crown, and maybe she is wearing a crown of flowers or thorns. It looks great. More details on the background. Whereas the Frisson, again, we don't see a lot of backgrounds on a lot of covers she does. Don't see very much here. I think it's, again, pretty standard Frisson. I would rather get just the regular cover versus getting the 1 in 50, because I'm not paying the 1 in 50 price. So I would definitely move over with the Baslin. Go ahead, Big Rob.
You grab the $5 cover and get the Baslin for $13.50 on Midtown. Less than $20.
Oh, very covers. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Moving on to the next one. We got Sacrificers number 14, a 1 in 10 by Carla Wizgala. I hope I said that right. Wizgala? Weisgala?
Carla Weisgala? Weisgala.
All right. Thank you, Big Rob, as always. All right, sir. Take it away.
What's going on?
Okay, let me get a good glimpse of this. I'm trying to look for it on Midtown. I see it right here. Here it is. Let me just click on it. I got a good gander of it. Just off the bat, just looking at the art, the face, because obviously the image in the art differentiates what the little I guess where the image the claim character doesn't have to be on the image logo on the top left. The one on the top left is more comic booky, more typical comic book art, but the actual character in this particular art piece, the character's face is very much more deformed, more artistic, more like an independent, kind of more of a stepping away from the character's look a little bit. So it immediately picks my interest. It just seems more weird and spooky vibe to it. So I love the kind of the rainstorm, but it's like the stars coming off the moon kind of vibe, and it's kind of just dripping off the moon, the crescent moon here. The blacks are well done. There's different tones of blacks in here with some mixed in with some blues and purples. I even like this is the way you design a trade dress, Marvel. This is a nice trade dress. It actually complements the art. It's almost like you know what it reminds me of? Moonstruck, the poster from Moonstruck. But instead of the character being under the moon, the character's within the moon. But it has that kind of vibe to it. So it's a cool cover. It's an interesting cover. It's a 1 in 10. It's not going to break a bank. And right now, it's $6 at Midtown. So yeah.
All right. All right, you got to say, Mike?
Yeah, it's interesting. And even though I'm not really 100% positive what in the world's going on with the pose and stuff, it's still intriguing to me. And there's some really cool elements. There's some really cool work being done. I agree with basically some of the choices, sort of the stars dripping off of the moon, and some really cool design choices. Again, like Rob said, this is how you design trade dresses. This is how you design a book and lay it out and get everything to fit nicely and look slick. I'm not sure I like it enough, but I mean, if I were to buy it, but I feel like you could probably get this pretty close to cover price. What did you say it's costing right now? Somebody say the price already?
$6 on Midtown.
Oh yeah. For $6, especially if the book is any good. It's still reading this and buying 10 copies of Sacrifice. Is it good? Is anyone reading it? I
get the impression that no one's reading it, and so 1 in 10 might be a little bit rare.
a little ghosty, right?
Yeah. Is this series still going on?
Oh, this series is still going. Nice.
Rarity maybe have some value there in the long term.
It is interesting. I don't think I like it enough to buy one, but at number 14, a 1 in 10 of a book that people think is dead, that says a lot. It probably
because it looks so rare.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it looks creepy. I like the how she's looked so gaunt on this. The face. I mean, it looks like maybe she's one of like what is it? Like a voodoo doll almost. Like it looks like her eyes are like
like a doll eyes.
Yeah, they're like what is it? Sewed shut. I mean, it just looks great. It makes me want to open this book to see what's going on. To be honest, it gets my attention just because it's like it just looks different. I like the watercolor that they use for the background. You can see like the watermarks, everything. I think it's great. Oh, look at Jorge's all over it.
Yeah, as I was also going to point that out, but it's like it must be a more. It's obviously somebody's reading it. They're issue 14 already, so it has a subscription base, and they're keeping the story going. So, yeah, but it's just a small niche group, right? So this book might be somewhat hard to find out there in the wild. Only if maybe the subscribers are picking this book up, but in general, stores are probably not buying 10 copies.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next one. We have Jeff's favorite artist, Rian Gonzalez. Birds of Prey number 18, a 1 in 25. Mike, would you like to go first, or do you want to just go last and just rip it apart?
I'll go first. I'm not going to rip it apart too badly, only because there's nothing worse I can say about this shit than I've already said before. First of all, haven't we seen this same cover from her like 10 times at this point with stupid, silly shit like pizza and somebody passed out in the corner? And like, I feel like we've seen this cover before. Too much stuff going on. The colors look like they're straight out of like the small Crayola box, you know, the one where you basically just get the primary colors and not all other cool ones. It just feels really amateur and silly. And like, if I were watching my favorite cartoon, you all remember this. I've said this before. Like, you watch your favorite cartoon, first couple seasons, animated really, really well. Then all of a sudden, like, the franchise isn't doing so hot, so they hired the B team to start doing the animation. And there's like a considerable drop in quality on the animation. This is that season. This is season 3. This is season 3 that's only going to go a half season. And this is the. I mean, it just doesn't. I honestly think there are right books for Ian Gonzalez to draw. I can't think of any of them right now off the top of my head, but they exist and we've seen them and I don't mind them. And her cutesy style works on those, but it doesn't work here and it's too busy and we've seen it before and she needs to work on color unless she's not the colorist. If somebody else is the colorist, then they're to blame partially, but
No,
She
she's
has
the
to be the
colorist.
colorist. Yeah.
I assume she's the colorist. It's just
Yes.
not. It's just not good. I'm not compelled to open this book. Isn't that the point?
Yep. All right. What about you, Big Rob? What are your thoughts?
Well, I got just a mixture of thoughts in my head when I look at this book. Well, obviously it's a 1 in 25, so this is not going to be readily available because this Birds of Prey number 18. So it's not going to be there in your face kind of shit on the parade of Birds of Prey. So it'll be there, but just rarely. This is also out of our bubble for like what we like on this show, or the people that follow us and watch the show with part of the show with us, or watch us on the rewind. This is definitely for another bubble, and this is more the anime manga bubble, and that's her fan base that really supports her, and she's just catering to her base, and this is what they like, and this is what they're gonna buy always from her. And that's fine. Like Igor said, it's not a bad cover. It's not our thing, and I understand that. I can step back and see that.
Right.
It's not going. If there was one DC book,
That's right. The Garfield book. That Garfield book was awesome. We all wanted that thing. That's the perfect book for her.
yeah. But if there is one DC book that her girly, kind of childish art works on, is Birds of Prey is probably the closest book because it's more of a female-oriented book, more of a cutesy. It's they could slant it that way. But for me, the whole shit is just flatline because of her. She might be just jacking other people's ideas and doing this fucking cover. I'm
right.
like, I have no trust in her anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know where this idea came from, or maybe she even fucking traced it from somebody else. It's like maybe she ripped this off some manga cover and just put different characters in it, right? Just changes little features here and there. So I have no trust in her. So just on that itself, it's a failure because there's just no trust in her. She really has to me, she's going to have to kind of change her art style and show me a whole different outlook, or just a different perspective or angle coming in creating art, and show me something different. Then I could believe that she's actually drawn this shit. Because this, I have no trust that she even drew it.
Wait, is she the one that was caught tracing?
Yes.
Tracing, copying, shit, stealing concepts, and just stealing all that shit.
Yep.
Dude, it'd be different if she did that and then like amped him up and made him look good. She actually makes that shit look worse. Like, you're gonna trace and then also still make it look like shit at the end of the day. Like, come on, man. I have zero respect now. Zero respect.
So with this cover, like I'm going to take a page out of Jeff's book here because it is his artist, right? So it looks like color forms because this perspective is so off that these color forms, you're just sticking these like static figures, and I'm like, oh, I think she should belong here, so I'm going to stick this character here. That's why they look weird. They're not they're not in their correct setting, looking the way they're supposed to look. You know?
Yeah, but there is an audience for this. I see this shit all the time at the Artist Alley in San Diego Comic Con. This particular art sells, and this type of art.
Yeah, but
And
think of where you see those artists. They're
Yeah.
not in the main part of Artist Alley. They're in the amateur section.
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy that she's on a fucking mainline DC book. I'm like, the only thing is it's a 1 in 25, so there's not going to be a ton of them, so you're not going to really see it out there. But but I doubt that fan base is going to search out and look for this book at a fucking comic book shop and look. Oh, let me order 25 copies of Birds of Prey and get this cover. It's just not going to happen, probably.
Never.
Never. All right. Let's move on to the next one. We have Laura Kinney Wolverine #1, second print. 1 in 25 by Scott Campbell. So this is the second print for the ones that we did like before, right? The regular cover, and then I think it was a 1 in 100 that was color and a virgin. So Mike, you're up.
This cover worked really well with the big X behind her and the color version. She popped. I thought it was a cool pose. It was the first J. Scott I'd really liked in a long time. This doesn't do anything for me. This is a money grab, and there's no reason to want this, I don't think. The original actually looks good. His line work isn't, I mean, it's not like we're talking about, I don't know. I'm trying to think of somebody off the top of my fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't think it needs to be showcased as a cover by itself. It's sort of like those Peach Momoko ones that they used to do. You're like, really? You sure you want to show that? Like, you want to show like how basic the line work is before all the colors get put in? So this is better than that. And I like Campbell. I do. I don't love him, but I like him. And I really liked the original of this, but I really don't think this warrants very much of anything. That said, second print of this book, 1 in 25. First of all, it's really hard for me to get behind incentives for second prints. I know that happened a long time ago, and that's now that it's accepted, it's not going to stop. But it's hard for me to support that. Either way, it'll probably be rarer. It'll probably be the rarest one, or one of the rarest ones. And so I could see people, especially the J. Scott Campbell homers, who go crazy for his stuff, really scooping this up. I could see this book being worth double, just because it's him. But I wouldn't say it's worth it.
Well, let me tell you this: it's more than double.
It's what?
It's more than double.
Oh, come on.
Whoa.
Yeah, if it's a 1 in 25, it's a lot more than double. Because Midtown sold out at 81, and they had.
Oh, come on, that's insane.
And they had it. Well, this is $100 book, probably.
Yeah, that's not for long. Not for long.
I agree with everything you said, and the whole second prints 1 in 25s. I always thought it's bullshit, but it's here to stay. Obviously, it's not going anywhere because people buy them. And I could see this book going for crazy money because of the rarity, and because of the J. Scott Campbell completionist. And because I think there's already a trade dress and another virgin, right? Color ones.
Yes.
So let's make the third cover. So to have the whole set together, the completionist of a set, because I'm that guy typically. I like to complete sets.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring the value of this book. It's just going to be rare. The completionists, the J. Scott Campbell fanatics, and plus it's the fucking the character itself, the whole fan base on that. It's this book is going to be. I could see this book going beyond 100, $150, maybe or more. We'll see.
The color I get the color for over $100. It's a good cover. I think it's one of his best in a long time. Get it for this. I just don't.
No color.
I get what you're saying, Rob. You're right. Those are the reasons why it will do that. But I still don't agree that it should be.
Yeah, I don't agree. It's just that's the reality of it.
You're like, that's the
Yeah,
market.
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
There's also no color.
There's no color.
Yeah, there's no color.
Best.
Yeah, well, there's a reason for that. I can explain it some other time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I like the cover. I think it's cool. I like that it's because it's so simplistic. I do like this sketch variant or this black and white variant. I like it a lot. I like the original, and like Bruce has it as his like icon. You can see that X-23 right there.
Oh, yeah,
by Campbell. Yeah, and I again, I think it's great. It's just like the Virgin, except without the color. Would I pay $80? No.
100, 125, 200.
No.
Oh my God, probably not. But I agree with you too, Big Rob. It's like if you have the regular cover, the Virgin variant, you're gonna want this to complete that set. I mean, I did the whole thing when he did Witchblade and then had the SDCC variants. So
Yeah.
I had to get it because I had to get the set. So I'm in that group that it's like once I have it, it's like, oh, I want to have the set.
Yeah, we're all sick here. We're part of that sickness, but it's just like we're not a part of this particular one, so we could step out and have that perspective. we know who we are, so we can share our opinions on it.
Oh, yep. All right, moving on to the next one. We have Mark Brooks, and these are all of the Disney-fied characters or X-Men characters that he did, and now Marvel's turning them into covers. So of these, we got Wolverine, Avengers, Phoenix, and also Scarlet Witch. Of these 4, which one would you pick? All right, let's start off. Big Rob?
Yeah, so I'm looking at the prices. What is the ratio on this? Do you know?
These are 1 in 50.
Okay, so they're about ratio, but they're going for like the Vision is $40 here. Yeah, so they're on a ratio. So okay, so now they're not that expensive. Let me get a better closer look here. Let me take a look. Which one do I like the best? The Wolverine. I like the Wolverine Nightcrawler. That's a cool combo there. It's just the way he drew him. But it's just interesting that Mark Brooks is trying to step out of his bubble into a whole nother bubble and go into this cartoony look, which is totally not what he does. There's not a bunch of grease all over the characters. So that's cool. I give him props on that of like tackling a whole different style and see what he comes up with. It's simplistic, but I appreciate the effort, and that's what we constantly preach that here at Cover Lovers for artists to step out of their bubble and try something different, tackle something different, make me interested in the art, and like just get me thinking, just like positive or negative, just get me thinking. And you might actually get me to buy it. So if I had to pick one, is obviously the Wolverine. The Jean the Phoenix one is great. That one's awesome as well too. The weakest one is the Vision and Black Panther because I like the red on Scarlet Witch. That's a pretty cool one too. So, but I gotta go with Wolverine, man.
All right. What about you, Mike?
I like the Scarlet Witch Quicksilver one the best. I think it looks it's one of those little niches that I happen to really like, and I've sort of looked at over the years, and it's the reason why we liked that Dark Ride book that we loved so much way back, the Disneyland homage one that they did. I agree with Rob. This is cool to see an artist who already has a tried and true fan base for his style branch out, try something brave and new and different. I think he's doing it pretty well, to be honest with you. But if these are supposed to be Disney-fied, the one that looks the most Disney is the Scarlet. Although I don't hate any of them. And I do like the Wolverine one because it does kind of remind me of the animation from the X-Men book or from the X-Men cartoon a little bit. But I think visually, regardless of which characters I like the best, because that's neither here nor there in this case. I think the Scarlet Witch Quicksilver is the best one. But I'd be fine with the trade dress ones. I don't need them to be Virgin. That's silly.
Okay.
And kind of the boring background is it's cool actually. I kind of dig it with the X's and stuff. It's like almost like a Christmas present wrapping background.
Yeah, kind of.
For me, I like the Phoenix cover. I like the Phoenix, and then I like her when she was like the Black Queen. I dig it. I figured the Scarlet Witch cover, it's very, very Disney. I mean, you can kind of tell. It's very lighthearted. I'm not a big fan of the Vision and Black Panther one. It was a tough call because like I do like the Wolverine and the Nightcrawler one because of their and I think who put it there? Bruce had mentioned it, like their partnership. But I went with the ladies. I just like them. I like the devilish look that the Black Queen is giving me. So I'm like, that's it for the win for me.
Also, Bruce saying there's more coming out.
Yes.
Underwear 2020 something else. Okay.
Yep. All February, you're going to get a lot of these covers from Brooks. And I mean, I dig it. I mean, like to your point, Big Rob, I mean, I'm glad Mark did something different, than what we normally see him. He had a bunch that he was releasing on Instagram and Twitter, or basically all of his social media, on like, hey, I'm going to do this. Like these are all Disney-fied like X-Men, and then he's expanded to the Avengers, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's kind of. To be honest, Scarlet Witch kind of gives me Valentine's Day vibes. Just like some of the bright red in there, but it gives me kind of Valentine's Day vibes too.
All right, and I believe that does it for incentives this week. I mean, it was a very, very small week of books this week, unlike last week. I guess it's a little bit smaller this week. And then also too, we're going to go into our store exclusives. Not too many because guess what? MegaCon is this weekend, so everybody and their mother are advertising all their MegaCon exclusives, and this comes from every single retailer that's out there. They already have a store exclusive. So these are the ones that I could find that were not MegaCon exclusives, and we're going to start off with Doom Academy #1, and this is a homage from the Breakfast Club and also Strange Academy, and it's from Big Rob's favorite, Lyrics Lee, because you like her poses. It comes from the 5 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, LE of 600, cost of $35. Big Rob, are you buying?
Well, it's a tough call for me because it's a Breakfast Club homage, obviously, and I love that homage. I have the original Strange Academy homage to that as well. I saw this popped in my email, and I'm like, oh, it's tempting because it's kind of like I said, we're sick in the mind and we like to complete sets and shit. So, of course, obviously, the limitation of 600 is a bunch of bullshit from the 5 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. There's at least 4,000 copies of this book somewhere. Like more, what is? I'm sorry, 3,400 copies of this book somewhere. $35 is steep. There's some like I said, the homage really gets me a lot, and it will look nice to have that next to my Strange Academy #1. And are these okay? Are these some of the characters from Strange Academy in here? That's what it looks like. Are they newer characters? Are they some mixture of old and new?
It could be a mixture of old and new. You have Kid Dormammu, it looks like, that was also in Strange Academy.
Yeah.
It might be in this Doom Academy.
Yeah, so see, this could be something because it's Dr. Doom #1 and he's popular. And if there's any new characters in this grouping, that could mean something. That has speculation value on here. And let's say they actually fucking stick to their limitation of 600. That makes it somewhat limited for a Marvel book. We already said it's bullshit, but just let's say that number is real. That makes it enticing, even at $35 price point. I'm on the fence on this one personally, just because of the homage and the potential. Because kid characters do have always a future in the world here. So that itself, and the art itself is pretty standard for Lyrics. Probably the most softer art I've seen from her. Like it's not like over the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty just kind of a gentle presentation of these characters. Kind of a just candor moment there.
Okay. What about you, Mike? What are your thoughts on this one?
This is a no all around for me. This is a no all around for me for a variety of reasons. First of all, I think it's a bad homage. I think it's pretty pedestrian art. I think it's way too pricey. Even if it were 3,000 copies of it, I still think $35 for a single book is still way too much. We know that the limitation is BS. There's nothing about this that entices me to want to buy it. I get what you're saying, Rob, but it's the only book that shows them, and I think there'll probably be better options than this one, or at least situations that I would rather support than this one. Let's just put it that way. I don't think the art's bad per se, but it is not $35 worthy art. I don't think I'd even pay half that for it, to be honest with you. So this is a hard pass for me all around.
Okay. I would agree. I looked at it. I'm like, oh, this looks terrible. I know, like last week we had a nice Lyrics League cover, but now I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh, this is pales in comparison. I mean, it's not good. So I'm not a big fan. I'm not buying this one. So it's a big pass for me as well.
Can I just add something? Also, the trade dress just torpedoes the shit out of this cover.
Yeah, that's a big problem too.
Yeah, that trade dress is just horrible. So flat, no emotion. There's no texturing. Oh my god, this is just a new low for Marvel on trade dresses, dude. This is bad. Even the big giant number 1. What the fuck is that? It actually, to be honest, looking at it more closely, it feels like it's a fucking something I photoshopped together. And I am shitty at doing Photoshop. It's just like the trade dress kind of really torpedoes it. But regardless, like I said, just because it's a fucking team book and it's possibly new characters and it's Doctor Doom, just remove the whole artistic aspect of this cover. The book itself might have value speculation wise. So there you go.
Yep. All right. Thank you, sir. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's saying the same thing. Why is number 1 bigger than the trade dress? Yes, it's still Chillin said the same thing. It's crazy. All right. Moving on to this cover, we have Uncanny X-Men, number 11, and this is by Alexander Lozano. And you can find this at Unknown Comics, LE 1000, and the cost, I think, is $40. All right, Mike, what are your thoughts?
The 40 for the set?
Yes.
40 for the set? Okay, well, let's at least back down into the ballpark anyway. I actually really like this cover, to be honest with you. I think this has sort of like a...
Yeah, we have a problem in the kitchen.
We have a problem in the kitchen.
There's a bug in there that can sting us.
Oh,
okay. No.
I really like this cover. It has a little bit of an anime feel, but not enough to make me hate it. It does feel like a really amazing action moment from a cartoon. The purples are awesome. Apparently, I have to go and fix something in the kitchen. I'll be back.
It's a big.
All right, Big Rob.
Well, honestly, it's the first time I've seen it, and the first thing I thought it was "Take me for a ride." Dun, 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 dun. Marvel's Can Come Too. That's what I thought. Is the first thing I thought when I saw this cover. It just gives me the Marvel's Can Come Too vibes. I understand why he sees anime in here. It's a cool cover in general. Obviously, the limitation is bullshit too. There's 4,000 copies of this book. So where the other 3,000? Somewhere. That's what worries me when they say these limitations on levels. Like, yeah, you're selling 1,000 now, but when are you going to pop up with, or the artist is going to pop up with 500 copies at his table at some con?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, they're out there, and there's no way they're fucking destroying them. I know they claim they do, and maybe they destroy 1,000. There's still another fucking 2,000 somewhere. So it's like, it's the art itself is cool. I dig it. $40. I still think it's too steep. I know, and I was just arguing about the other one, the $35 for one fucking book. They're both they're both way too expensive. I think it's $40. I don't think it's worth $40. $30, $25. Honestly, if I would want to buy them, I'll pay $20. This is a book that will eventually sit somewhere and in with the limitation, and you can buy it for discount at Black Friday, December.
That is also true. I like the art for this cover. I think it's great. It's very dynamic. And I don't think I've seen this style before. When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I don't think I've ever heard of Alexander Lozano at all.
No.
You know?
Yeah, the art's great. Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I like it. Am I going to pay $40 for it? Honestly, no. I know Unknown. To your point, Big Rob, Like they'll have a warehouse sale, or they'll have like a end of the year sale, mid-year sale, the month of February sale. And these books will probably be part of that. So, I don't have to spend $40 now. I can probably get it a lot cheaper later.
Yeah, go to San Diego Comic Con. They'll have them there. Probably this.
Yep. Oh, thanks, Chillin. Yes, and I like that cover. I did like that cover. Thank you for that. All right, moving on to the next one, and the next one is my favorite. So here we go. Hello Darkness number 7, and this one you can pick up at ANZ Comics. It's by Frizen. It's LE of 250 with a cost of $20, and they're sold out. Rob?
Yeah, $20, good price point. Limitation is great. It's Jenny Frizen. I'm not surprising it's sold out. I prefer the color. Color is way better, but still cool black and white no matter what. There's a lot of positives to this, and it's her art, and it's a little different because it's just, I don't know, just I guess a different composition. So that makes it different for Jenny. Just adding the second character into the frame, it's a different thing for Jenny. So it's a little different from her standard art. So that itself makes it cool. It's creepy, it's sexy, all that. And a great new picture of Jenny Frizen you found there.
Yep, thank you. Okay, so this is funny to me. So they black out the boobies up here in the front, but they don't black out the one at the back.
They put pasties on her.
I'm like, when I look at this, I'm like, you got to be kidding. Even with the cover that came out last week, it's like they cover these things, but not here. Oh yes, damn right, Apollo, damn right. Personally, I like the black and white cover a lot better than I like the color version. I think with the color version, you get. I felt it was unnecessary to show all the veins, all this other stuff. I like it just the way it is. I mean, just if Frizen had this cover as a regular cover that came out last week, I would have bought it like in a heartbeat, and I would have had second thoughts about the other cover if it was the one that was the store exclusive. So for me, the black and white is definitely the one that I gravitate towards. The color one, not so much, but I did buy quite a few of these. Not a whole lot of Apollo. That there was just 230 left of the 250, but I definitely bought more than 2. So I dig it. What about you, Mike?
I like them both for various reasons. I literally just unwrapped this is the color. I haven't taken it out of the poly yet. But I like them both for their own reasons. One of the reasons I like Jenny's art is because how renders are, which she does by hand. And then she scans in the black and white renders and adds color in later with Photoshop. For those that don't know her style, she does a line drawing first, and that's a separate piece. Then she takes the line drawing, she scans that in and prints it out on grayscale paper, and then uses chalk and pencils and stuff to do black and whites. And that's what you get here. And so this isn't just, unlike some of the others, this isn't just like some money grab. This is a really good showing of what the hand like before they go to Photoshop and get colored. So I really do like those black and whites from her. But that said, in this particular case, I also really like the color one. So I didn't even know this was coming this week. I might have tried to get myself one. It's probably sold out. Is it sold out?
It is. It's sold out at ANZ Comics.
That's what I figured. I probably would have gotten one had I known it was available. But I'm happy to have the color one. And this was just a regular B cover. Yeah. And it's sold out everywhere. Basically, I managed to get one for cover price just because in the right hour, because I checked back an hour later and nobody had one. So just a stroke of luck. But yeah, I would have liked to have had the set. It's too bad I missed it. But I think it's a really nice piece of art from her. It tells a little bit of story. Both characters look good. It's obviously very sexy, and I like them each for their own reasons.
Yep. And then Christopher, just so you know, the one in A and Z is just a black and white. I just put the color one here for reference since it was released last week, so that way you knew exactly what it was coming from. And
These are selling for about 20. These are selling for about 20 shipped now.
Yeah.
So if you're buying them now, or if you were buying them when this was released, like $20, you're going to pay $20 either way. If you missed out on cover price, which was still pretty high, it was $8.
Yep. It was. All right. And that does it for our store exclusives. All right, Mike, you promised last week that we're going to get a cover fire. Are we getting a cover fire this week?
Yes. Yes, you are getting a cover fire. It is a really, really short one because it is a really slim week this week.
Yeah.
But there is going to be an article tomorrow. It's going to be a little late because I have to tidy some things up tomorrow morning, but the article's written and the pictures are in. So I just have to do some editing tomorrow, but it's super, super short. Yes, we are finally getting one.
Awesome. And then you can go over there at cbsi.com to check it out tomorrow before you do your Wednesday warrioring at your LCS.
That's right. It'll be mid-afternoon tomorrow. Expected
All right.
mid-afternoon tomorrow on CBSI, comicbookinvest.com.
Perfect. And then there weren't any artists harmed in this segment, right?
No. Rian Gonzalez just a little bit, but not terrible. She harmed herself. So.
She did. Oh man. All right. And then also too, for all you guys that are going out to MegaCon this weekend, enjoy yourselves, have fun. Actually, let us know what kind of covers you're chasing, because there are a shit ton of covers. And let us know what's going on. Are you guys having a good time or not? Also, as always, got to give another shout out to our sponsors. We got Cover Price. Make sure to use Nerdvana14 for 30 days of unlimited cover price for only 99 cents. And then head over to birdcitycomics.com and save yourself 10% off your entire purchase using TNH10. And then Sean over there at displaygeek.com. You can use Team Nerd Herd to save yourself 10% off your very, very first purchase. All right. Yep. Not chasing covers. Yep. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it is a short list this week. Oh, look at that. Thank you very much, Bruce. And Bruce, also for Big Rob, happy birthday. Look at that.
Happy birthday, buddy.
All right. Big Rob, will you please send us out?
Yes, if you want to do it right, be a comic cover whore for life.